Hey everybody. So, YouTube user Vexico asked me to post a video pretty much ranking heroes from best to worst. Um, it's a little tricky because it really depends on which heroes you've focused on, which heroes you've leveled up, and the skills they have. But I'm going to try and quickly work through the main stuff that you want to look at. So if you, my heroes, if you sort them by power, Zoe is my strongest hero. She has the highest hero power. With that being said, the thing that you always need to look at with heroes is next to their name, click on the stats button. And there's two subsets of stats. One of them is for Explorer challenges, so that's obviously doing hero exploration. That is also when you send a squad out as opposed to sending a march out. So like the special events right now is the scientist one. They do the gas jockey. They do all sorts of different ones. That's an exploration challenge, as well as your intel. Anytime there's an intel explorer challenge, these are the stats that will be used. The other one is military. So that's if you're sending a march, if you're joining a rally. These are the skills that are going to be used. So first, take a look at some Explorer challenges, and you can all do this freestyle. You can just go on down the line. Zoe is an attack hero on Explorer and military, for that matter. She increases troop attack, and on Explorer challenge, it's an attack skill. Same thing with Ash. Ash has an attack skill. Military. The reason we don't use Ash as a lead for Trap, first off, is because she's an infantry hero, and as we've talked about before, we don't send infantry to Trap. But also, when you're joining rallies, her skill is just having a chance of dealing extra damage, as opposed to just Zoe, who straight up increases attack. So it's not a chance of extra attack, it's a guaranteed extra attack. Maddie, as we've talked about before, she's a good one for rally leaders, because she has the benefit of increasing troop damage on a couple of her skills. Then on Explorer challenges, it's kind of more of a defensive skill, but she has a really good rally boost. Miho is another one where it's more defensive. It still deals damage, but you're talking about on the military side, she reduces enemy damage. On the Explorer side, she's disabling infected, so it's more defensive. And you can look at the stats on these. The basic benefits, and for Explorer, just the stats that each hero brings. Jeb is one that I really like. He's got some pretty good buffs. And this also, going back to which heroes you focused on, which ones you have at which levels, and where you have their skills leveled up to, it plays a big part in picking your heroes. But as a rule of thumb, your gold heroes, once they're fully leveled up, once you have their skills maxed out, level 5, those are typically going to be your best heroes. The only exception is Lucky, who, for people who have played the game long enough, Lucky was one of the first pay heroes. We'll just call him that. Because the only way to level her up was to pay for fragments to upgrade her. That's why my Lucky is only level 20. But she's not a bad hero if you already have her leveled up and maxed out. But I was not in a position to be able to do that when I started playing this game, and since then, many better heroes have come out. Not so much Tony. I still have to do a lot of work on him. I just located him. But we can talk about Nicola. He's a great defensive hero. He has health boosts. He's really helpful for when you're doing Clash, or if you're doing the facility fight. He is a good defensive hero. So it's important, if you're attacking an objective, you're not going to use Nicola. But if you've taken an objective and you're trying to defend, if you're trying to garrison, if you're trying to reinforce, let's say, a tower at Capital, or a bunker, or a facility, he's a good hero because he gives you increased health. So, as I said before, I'm going to try and keep this pretty short, but Ghost is another one who increases some health, but he's a blue hero, so he's not really, the best guy for the job. He's still a decent hero if that's what you've got. Ernie is more of an attack hero, and I could do this all down the line, but I guess the bottom line is that there's not necessarily a good way to rank the heroes, because most of it depends on who you focused on, who you've put the work into. Trish is another good defensive hero. If you've got the skills leveled up, in order to defend objectives. So, I mean, as always, play around with this stuff. Figure out who works best for what you're doing. And always keep in mind that explorer talents and military talents are not necessarily mutually exclusive. Someone might have better stats on explorer, but be worse on military, and vice versa. So you always want to kind of take a look at that, mess around with it, mix them up, figure out what works for you, figure out what you can do with what you've got. Some of these heroes you can only get fragments for through certain pay-to-play events. You can always exchange fragments, with the exception of Lucky. As far as I know, she's the only one that you cannot exchange fragments for, which kind of frustrates me, because I wouldn't mind leveling her up, but it does not give you an option, you'll see right here, to exchange fragments, whereas any of the other heroes, it will give you the option to exchange your general fragments to upgrade the rank. So feel free to leave any questions at the bottom in the comments. Hit subscribe if you feel like it. I really just make these videos to try and put the knowledge that I've gathered and compiled out into the world, so that everyone can have a better experience with it. And yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any input, if you have any insight about heroes or any of the game mechanics, please feel free to let me know, and I'll definitely include it. So you guys have a great night, great day, wherever you're at in life, and I'll catch you later.